Okay, I've got the canner on 2 burners starting to warm up. I've got a pot here ready for blanching. I'm going to blanch hopefully 4 cups at a time. Sorry about that. I had the canner over here and, you know, shit happens. Anyway, so I've got 2 bowls of apples done already. I don't know how many are in there, so this time I'm going to put them into 4-cup measures and blanch them, and then I'll know what I have, how many quart jars I'm going to need, how much pie filling I'm going to make. I've got the lids in a little pot on the wood stove, and I have a big pot on the wood stove just getting warm, so when I blanch the apples I can put them in here and keep them warm. Now the reason you blanch the apples is you don't know what was on the apple peeling, and then you peel it and your hands are all over that apple. So you blanch it for 1 minute just to sterilize the apples, and people say that it gets the air out of the apples. I'm not sure about that, but like anything else when you're canning, you want everything sterile, so you don't want contaminated apples going in here. So you blanch the apples first. So just to blanch an apple, like I said, I'm using a 4-cup measure. That way I know how many jars I'm going to need. So you put it into boiling water for 1 minute. Now I don't know about you guys, but you'll probably lose count. So what I do is I toss another jar ring over here every time I dump in 4 cups. So I know I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 jars done already. Okay, so I have blanched all my apples, and for some reason it only came out to 8 jars, so I'm a little worried that I might have put too much in each jar. But what I did was, those are hot sterilized jars, and I put the warm apples in there, and now they're sitting in the oven. They're just keeping warm, and now I'm making the pie filling that will go onto it. A little worried that this is going to be too much now, but what I did was I have my 1 quart, which makes 1 apple pie. So I just times it by 8. So this is the recipe for 1 pie, which is 1 quart. It's 4 cups of apples, which we already seen what I did with them. And now in this pot here, getting warm, is 3/4 of a cup sugar, 1/4 cup of clear gel, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 cup of water, 3/4 of a cup of apple juice, that's unsweetened apple juice, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and a dash of nutmeg. Now I times that everything by 8. So everything by 8, and it's in here. And I'm just going to stir this, and it's going to get really thick and translucent. And then I'll put this on top of the apples in the jar. Sort of wishing I didn't use this big pot. Wish I had a pot that was only half this height, because I'm a little short. I'm reaching over here. I think I've been stirring for maybe 25 minutes, and it's starting to get thick now, but boy, is my shoulders killing me from reaching over this pot. But it's getting there. Okay, so our sauce is thick enough. Try and get your jar so the funnel is actually touching the pot and you don't get as much spillage. And this is gonna, hope I didn't pack those apples too much and they won't go down. Whoop. And I like this kind of a ladle because it has a hook on it, and you just hook it on the side of your pot. Okay, so scratch everything I just told you and go back to when you blanch the apples. Just keep them warm. Don't put them in the jars. It would not go down through them. I had to dump all the jars out and add them to the sauce. I hope there's something left of these apples when I'm done with them. The blanching took a bit out of them, made them soft. I'm hoping that these aren't just going to be jars of really sweet applesauce when I'm done, because we have to process these for 25 minutes. So they're still got the look of an apple. Now this is my apple pie recipe. I don't know if I would do it again, because I've been working at this, what the heck time is it? It's almost 5 o'clock. 5 hours. You know, if I had my own tree, I guess I might have do it again, but this is a lot of work for this old broad. And if I want an apple pie, I'll just buy a bag of apples in the store and make it an apple pie. This was just something that I thought I would do, and you know, maybe give the kids at Christmas time. And that might be what I do. Back in a flash. Okay, this is my pet peeve. I see a lot of you women in the kitchen in their good clothes doing this kind of stuff. I am like covered in sticky, yucky. I always wear an apron. Not today though. Can't find my apron. It's packed somewhere. And like, you guys look so damn beautiful. Your nice clean clothes canning. And then there's me. Are you guys for real or what? A little thing I do when I'm getting it at the top there is I use, can you see that? Come to me, baby. There you are. Okay, I take the funnel and I just go like this. I'm putting pressure down on the funnel so the jar's not going to fall, but that swooshes it around enough that I can see if I need more in it. Just a little trick. Okay, now I'm just going to go around the outside, press out any bubbles that might be in there. Now when you're canning, you hear them say about not putting the jars on, the rings on tight. And that's because they burp. When you're boiling them for 25 minutes, where's all that energy in there? Where's it going to go? It's going to burp out the lid, and then there's less air in there, and that's how you get a seal. If you crank the lids on, then, sorry, the phone rang. It was probably my youngest. He usually calls whenever I'm doing something. Just the way it is. So now you just take a wet paper towel, one of those durable paper towels, or a cloth, dishcloth, as long as it's a clean cloth, and take all that sticky off that ring, the rim, because you want to make sure that your jars seal. You just went 5 hours making this. You do not want it to fail. So clean up all your rims. Now go get your snap lids. Now, I'm not saying that my way is the only way, but I had to take a course from Bernardin. Now that's Bernardin is the who makes the jars and the lids up here in Canada. And I had to take a course because I sold stuff like this at the farmer's market. So I had to know how to properly do it. And fingertips. I see people that go like that and then they put their hand down like that and they crank it. No, use your fingertips. And that's as tight as you get it. Oh, that's it. Fingertip tight. Don't bend your hand, fingertip tight. And then your jar can burp. Okay, I'm going to put these in the water bath canner and I'll be back in a flash. Okay, so I've got them all in the water bath canner and I had to add a bit of water because they weren't quite covered, those bigger ones. Have the 2 burners on high, waiting for it to boil. I'm going to put the lid back on it. Now, I knew I would have an issue with this lid, and it was so much fun. I was waiting for it. I had oven mitts on, and I didn't put it towards me. But, of course, all the condensation from it boiling away underneath the lid all landed on the floor. And so the next time I stepped on the mat, there was wet, and I was, see, that's why I don't keep the camera on all the time, because of all my accidents. While we're waiting on the canner, I thought I'd tell you how I usually make my apple pie filling for myself. These ones, sorry if I'm all mucky here, but anyways, these ones I'm going to give to the kids. But when I do it, I put the apple pie filling into a Ziploc baggie. And then when it's full, I put it into the pie plate. Now, I have lots of pie plates. If you don't have a lot of pie plates, maybe the disposable ones would work. And I set them in the freezer in the pie plate. And then they freeze the shape of a pie plate. So when I want a pie, I make the crust. I don't keep these. Like once this is frozen, I take all my pie plates out of the freezer. But then I'm going to make a pie, so I make the bottom shell, and I just open up the bag and scoot it in there, and it fits perfect. And then either do a crumble top or a pastry top, and voila, it's easier than this cannon crap that has taken me 5.5 or 6 hours now. But anyways, what'd you do today? Oh, I made apple pie filling. Yeah, what'd you do the rest of the day? I made apple pie filling. Anywho, that's my rant. But this is the way I do it. And you say, okay, well, you're a prepper, and what if the grid goes down? Remember, we're off the grid. So it doesn't matter. My freezer will work. So that's why I'm going to keep the stuff that goes in the freezer, because all my kids live far away. Freezer stuff it'll be thawed out by the time it got there. Canning stuff, I make them and I send it down to them. So we're waiting for the canner. 25 minutes. Yay, it's been 25 minutes. But we're not done yet. All we're going to do is turn the burners off. And I am going to try not to burn myself again. And I'm going to take this lid off. Me burning myself, I'm going to take the lid off. There we go. Flip it upside down and then it won't drip anymore. Now we are going to wait a good 10 minutes. If you were to pop these suckers out of there now, it's just sort of like scuba diving or, you know, coming up too fast. You've just had this boiling for 25 minutes. Let these suckers have a rest for 10 and then take them out. Okay, it's been 10 minutes now. Now, I see a lot of people pull them out and tip them. Do not tip your jars. I know there's a little bit of water sitting on top, but if you put down a towel like this is a nice thick towel, and you set it on there, in about 2 seconds that water is just going to go poof, it's going to be gone. Do not tilt to take that water off, okay? Straight up, straight down. Okay? Whoops, sorry about that little shot there, guys. Okay, so yeah, straight up and straight down. Now don't move them. Let them sit there, guys, okay? Leave them there. Don't remove them. Reminds me when I was telling you about letting them sit in the canner for 10 minutes. I forget, it was mustard or something I was making. You know, the grainy mustard. And for some reason I had a brain fart. And as soon as I turned the canner off, I reached in and got them. And every one of those bubbled over once they hit the counter. They just come out of the jar. And the whole process was garbage. So let them sit, guys, okay? So here we go. 9 jars of pumpkin pie filling. You see the water's gone already off them. There was no need to tip them. If you tip the jar, they're not sealed yet. And some of the apple pie filling could go between the rim of the jar and the lid, and then they won't seal. So you go to all this work, don't jeopardize it. And these will probably all seal, I hope. And we have 9 of them. I only have 4 children. So they'll be getting 2 jars each. And an extra one. So that was exactly, I think, 6 hours. It's 6 o'clock now. I'm going to be till midnight cleaning up this mess. Oh my gosh, does this make a mess. But anyways, I hope it was worth it. I hope the kids like it. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was just me being me today. Love you all. Bye.